horror fans, once again, it's the Horror Miser Monty G. This time I'm going to do another video tag. Yes, another video tag. I got tagged by my good friend Lisa Davy. I believe that's what her name is. She has her YouTube channel, which is called Lisa Loves. Yes, she actually got tagged by a guy that I didn't know was a horror channel. He's called the Horror Man. And it's his tag, and it's called the Slashers tag. So I was tagged by Lisa. And so here is my slasher tag video from the Horror Man. Now there are 8 questions in this tag. So we got 8 questions here. The first question is, what is your favorite standalone slasher film? Very interesting. Meaning that this is not part of a franchise. So you cannot use Freddy, the Nightmare on Elm Street. You cannot use Jason, Friday the 13th. You can't use Michael Myers or Chucky. It has to be a standalone slasher film. This took me a lot of time, but I believe I'm going to pick a 1980 slasher film that a lot of people don't know about. It's called Hell Night. It stars Linda Blair, and it was a pretty good slasher film. I remember when I went to go see it in the theaters back in the 80s. Very nice slasher film, had a nice backstory to it. Linda Blair actually does a pretty good job as the final girl, and it really shows the type of range that she has. Obviously, from The Exorcist, but I believe it was one of the first movies she had starred in a while before after The Exorcist. But yeah, so my standalone slasher film will be Hell Night. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite slasher mask look? This is interesting. Now, obviously, you have Freddy in his hockey mask. You have Leatherface with his human skin face. There's some other mask looks that we have as well. I believe in one of these slasher films, you had in the Urban Legends sequel, you had the guy wearing a fencing mask, which I thought was kind of a unique look. But I'm just going to stick with something original. And I'm pretty sure some people will like it. I'm going to stick with Ghostface Killer Mask from Scream. It's a simple mask, but it's still clever because it's still creepy looking. It's Ghostface. So I'm going to choose the Ghostface Killer for question number 2. Question number 3. What is your favorite slasher movie kill? Now, I've answered this question before in another tag, and most people who know me know that one of my favorite horror movie kills is from Friday the 13th, Part 7, when Freddy takes the woman in the sleeping bag and drags her in his best. It's a tree. I still crack up at that scene. Yeah, that's my favorite kill. So that will be Friday the 13th, Part 7. I think it's part 7. Freddy takes the woman in a sleeping bag and bashes her head up against a tree. Yeah, that's my favorite slasher movie kill. Question number 4 is, what is your favorite slasher film setting? Now, there's a lot of good settings in slasher films. Obviously, you have the cabin and the cabin in the woods. You have others. You have camps, Crystal Lake. You have those nice houses in Friday the 13th part, Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street. But I believe one of the best settings that you can have in a horror film, I'm trying to think here because I had to actually had to think about this, is give me a second here, that waterland setting in Piranha 3D. Yeah, I like that water setting. It's a nice warm place. You had a nice beach town, even though I wouldn't swim in the ocean, but it's still a nice place to do. So I would pick the beach town in Piranha 3D. Question number 5 is, who is your favorite final girl in a slasher movie? Now, I've heard this question asked a million times about who is your favorite final girl in a slasher film, and a lot of people will say Sidney Prescott. People try to not include Laurie Strode. They want you to pick somebody else. A lot of people pick Sidney Prescott. I will not pick Sidney Prescott, but I'm going to go back to Hell Night, and I will pick Linda Blair's character. I believe she was a good final girl, and she does her best to beat the antagonist in Hell Night. So my final girl will be Linda Blair once again from Hell Night. Question number 6. What, in your opinion, is the most overrated slasher film? I actually had to think about this. Like I said, I really had to think about this, and because I do enjoy slasher pictures, I think they're very good. There are, of course, a lot of bad ones, but I think one is overrated would have to be the 1981 Terror Train. That actually starred Jamie Lee Curtis. It was a bit overrated. Really wasn't that good. Followed the same typical cliche characters. If I remember correctly, it had to do something about a kid that got traumatized by a group of other students, and then several years later, he tried to get his revenge on a train that they're taking. Hence the title Terror Train. But yeah, I thought to me that was a bit overrated. So I would choose Terror Train for question number 7. Now, question number 7 is what, in your opinion, is an underrated slasher film? Hmm, very interesting. I had to take a look into this because I had to research for a lot. Because again, there's a lot of slasher pictures in here, and I decided to go with another 1980s horror picture that I saw called "Happy Birthday to Me." Yes, it was a very interesting film because it doesn't take, but I think in the first 5 minutes. Yeah, because within the first 5 minutes of the film, we see the a person gets killed within 5 minutes of the film, and I thought that was a very nice way to start the film. We get a twist at the end once we find out who the real killer is, and I thought it was a pretty good slasher film. So, the most underrated slasher film that I saw is Happy Birthday to Me. Question number 8: what is your favorite gratuitous scene in a slasher movie? Well, I believe one of the most gratuitous scenes I've actually seen, and I'm pretty sure I don't know if anyone's seen this before. It's a movie called Society. I think in the last 5 to 10 minutes of the scene is a very gross out scene where the upper class people are literally consuming the lower class people. It's a very gratuitous scene. It is done. I mean, the effects are pretty good, but if you ever saw that movie called Society, yeah, that's very. It's a very gross scene. It's done tastefully well, but it's also very gratuitous. A lot of sick, crazy stuff that happens at the end of that movie. Yeah, so yeah, most gratuitous scene that I've seen in a slasher film would have to be the movie Society. Well, that's it. Those are all the 8 questions that we have for this video right now. I want to thank the Horror Man for coming up with this slasher film, and I also want to thank Lisa Davey for tagging me in this video. Now, of course, we all know what we have to do in these tag videos. We have to tag other people. So I'm going to tag, of course, my girl, Vicky from Nightmare Maven, so she's going to be tagged. I'm also going to tag my other favorite horror ghoul, Kweeny Todd, the werebeast or werewitch. I want to tag her. I'm also going to tag a new guy because he said he doesn't get tagged. So Andrew R. Davis, my Walking Dead companion, you have now been officially tagged in this video. So you have to come up with this tag. And I'm also going to tag my good boy Random Ross from Random Horror. So those are the 4 people that I'm going to tag. Now, of course, you can actually want to do this tag. You can. I will leave all the questions on the description box below. Please make sure that you give credit to the Horror Man. This is his tag, so make sure that you do give credit. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description box below, so that way if you want to check out his channel, he's got some pretty good content on his channel. I subscribed to him after I did the video from Lisa, and also want to subscribe to Lisa Love's channel. I'm gonna leave a link of her channel at her description box below as well. Well, that's my video for today, my horror fans. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and share as well, because it does help the channel out. And of course, as always, this is your first time here. That's right. You got to hit that subscribe button, and please, please, please hit that notification bell. YouTube has been getting a bit stingent on people who don't ring that notification bell, because for some reason you can ring it, but for some reason that doesn't notify you when I put up new content on the channel. So please ring that notification bell. That way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. Ha ha.